Welcome back to the Tarantula Collective. My name is Richard, and today we're counting down the top 5 cute but creepy pet invertebrates. So let's not waste any time. Now, number 5 is extremely popular right now, and that is the Euresus wakanari, or the ladybird spider, also known as a velvet spider. Now, these spiders are adorable and have a very unique appearance. Typically, they're black with some hints of silver, but when males mature, they get very colorful patterns. Their care is very easy, and they're a docile, slow-moving spider that rarely ever bites. And if they do, their venom's not known to be harmful to humans. Now, they can live up to 4 to 5 years, but they can be very hard to find in the hobby, and when you do find them, they can be kind of expensive. As spiderlings, they're extremely small and very fragile, and no matter what stage of life, most of their time is spent hidden within their webs. You have to be careful because if the humidity gets too high, it can be fatal. And the closer you zoom in on their face, the more adorable they look. But there's just something about an all-black spider that looks as unique and strange as this one that makes it as creepy as it is cute. Now, number 4 is the Heterometris salinus, or the Asian forest scorpion. Now, these adorable scorpions have a very low venom potency, and they make a great beginner scorpion because they rarely will sting, and only occasionally pinch if you really bother them. They're pretty inexpensive and readily available. Their care is very easy, and many people have had a lot of success keeping them communally. Now, they typically live between 8 and 10 years, though some claim theirs live even longer in captivity, with a few reports of nearly 20 years. Unfortunately, a lot of them that you find available for sale are wild caught, though captive bred specimens are becoming more available. Sometimes they get confused with emperor scorpions and are mislabeled in pet stores and reptile expos. And even though they look cool, they do spend a lot of their time hidden in their burrow. Now, most scorpions out there look intimidating, but something about this particular scorpion, to me, seems a lot more cute than scary. Kinda reminds me of like a very cute pit bull. Looks really muscular, but deep down it's just a sweetheart. Number 3 is the Mastigoproctus tahona, or the Arizona giant vinegaroon. This non-venomous arachnid can be found all over the world, though they are described as separate species. Their care and husbandry is pretty easy, and their body can reach nearly 3 inches in size, not including their whips and tail. Nothing out there looks like this particular species, and they have some pretty fascinating behaviors. They can live as long as 8 years and are pretty inexpensive. Usually you can find them available for under $50. The downside is that typically they're wild caught, though more captive bred specimens are becoming available. But they're difficult to breed in captivity as mothers tend to eat their young. They're famous for their ability to spray acid from their tail. But essentially that acid is just concentrated vinegar, so it's not something that's gonna like melt your skin or anything like that. It mainly just smells bad and it's hard to wash off. They can also be very reclusive, especially when it gets cold outside. During the winter, they could hide in their burrow for 4 to 5 months, only emerging once temperatures outside are consistently warm. You have to be careful with the wild-caught females because they could potentially be gravid, and sometimes they may also have parasites or other health issues, which is something I've dealt in the past with vinegaroons. Now the number 2 cute but creepy pet invertebrate is the Cubaris species isopods, like the Cubaris species rubber ducky or white panda. When it comes to cute invertebrates, this species might take the cake. They're very adorable, and they can be prolific breeders in the right environment. They come in a variety of colors and patterns, they're non-venomous, they don't bite, they're non-invasive, and if you keep them correctly, they can live about 3 to 4 years and can produce multiple broods that can keep the colony thriving. Now the downsides are they're expensive and kind of hard to find, but that is changing with time. They seem to be becoming more available and less expensive. Now their husbandry does require humid substrate with lime additives to simulate their natural environment, and they can die off quickly if not properly maintained. This is a pretty new species to have in captivity, so their husbandry is constantly evolving. So you gotta stay up to date with the latest news. And the number 1 cute but creepy pet invertebrate is the Damon diadema, or the tailless whip scorpion. Now this non-venomous arachnid doesn't bite and rarely pinches. They're typically pretty inexpensive, and their care and husbandry is very easy. They're a unique looking arachnid and very docile, and they typically live around 5 to 8 years. Keep in mind though that they are reclusive and they usually only come out late at night. They also wedge and hide in very small cracks, so you can go weeks without ever seeing them and not even being sure where they are in the enclosure. Their availability is hit and miss. Seems to be for a month or so, there's a lot available for sale online and at expos, and then you don't see them again for a few more months. Tailless whip scorpions are also not extremely well studied, and you can find them all around the world. So sometimes determining the exact species of tailless whip scorpion that you have can be a little difficult, but there are some people out there that are very well versed and can easily identify what species you have. You just gotta find them. And unfortunately, they can be a little fragile, especially their whips. You always got to be careful opening and closing the enclosures, as well as anytime you're handling them, because if that whip antenna were to break, it could take 3 or 4 or 5 molts before it's fully regenerated. And that's even more important as they do move very quickly and erratically when they're startled. So just be careful. Now those are my picks for the top 5 cute but creepy pet invertebrates. And I'd like to know what pet invertebrate you find both cool and creepy, especially if it didn't make my list. So tell me all about it down below in the comments and let's get a conversation going. Well, as always, I appreciate you watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for buying Tarantula Collective merchandise, and I will see you next Tuesday.